My name is Jaime. I lived my entire life feeling disconnected, looking for answers to all the big questions in the wrong places. In 2017, my entire life changed. My guide stepped in. They began to take me down a new path and send me incredible information and incredible experiences. It changed my entire perspective on life, it changed my entire life. And this is what I want to share with you. This is my story. Okay, I don't have much time because we're about headed out to go visit my parents today. But I wanted to share something that is a bit of a personal triumph for me. I know it won't mean much to everybody else. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. This is a video diary, so I want to talk about hair. Hair has been a big issue for me in my life because I was blessed / cursed with curly hair, and this has always been a challenge for me in my life. I remember as a child kicking and screaming and crying every time my mother came near me with a hairbrush because it was going to be a painful experience. I have very tangly hair. It's really weird because it's like kind of each hair is very thin, but together it's like a big mass. And to get a hairbrush or a comb or anything through my hair has been a struggle my entire life. I've used all kinds of detanglers, all kinds of different brushes, boar brushes even for a long time I used. Anything that was going to be gentle on my hair but that would still work to try and tame it. I like to think of it as kind of, to describe it to other people, it's like a spider web, trying to brush a spider web and make it kind of, try to tame it and make it neat, which is virtually impossible because when I brush through my hair, it kind of creates more tangles than I had before. There's all kinds of breakage, there's snapping, there's knots and lots of split ends. And I began to grow my hair out of laziness. And then after this spiritual awakening that I've had and all the information that's coming in, I realized how important hair is and how it's really our antenna to, it assists us to connect with the unseen realm. It assists us to receive energy and emit energy. And so it's actually pretty important. So now I don't cut my hair for that reason. Anything that I can do to help me to connect is important to me. So my hair has become important to me. Again, I've struggled with it my entire life because to brush it through every day takes about 45 minutes. That's, if you're using detangler, if you're using all that, because it's rather long. And it's a mess and it's a tangled mass that's like, again, spider webs, really hard to brush through. So I've always had to plan ahead. So if I have to be someplace early in the morning, I have to make sure I have enough time to not only, get ready, take a shower, all that stuff, but at least 45 minutes on a good day, 30 minutes to brush through it before I go anywhere. So imagine all the many hours that amounts to many days of hair brushing I've had to do in my life. And the compromises I've had to do, with significant others having to wait for me to do this all the time. And it's just been somewhat of a nightmare. So something began to happen in my, I'd say, early 20s, maybe even late teens. I began to experience thinning of my hair. And it's something that I've lived with the entire time, like thinness on my scalp. I went to a specialist at one time in my late 20s, and what he did was he pulled a few of my hairs out and looked at them under the microscope to see what was going on. And he came back in the room and he asked me, do you dye your hair all the time? Are you using a blow dryer to blow out your hair? And at that time, I had maybe dyed my hair a handful of times in my youth, but it had all grown out by that time. So what he was seeing was fresh, undyed hair. Obviously, I don't dye my hair now, otherwise I wouldn't have all this gray. So he basically said it looked like it was extremely brittle and damaged. I've always known how delicate my hair is. It can, break or snap very easily. I have a lot of split ends. And so with the split ends, then I wonder, is my hair really even acting correctly as an antenna? Because the part of your hair that's the antenna is the uncut end. Sorry for the dogs. Is the uncut end that kind of goes into a point at the end. That's the part that is your antenna, and it takes, I've read, several years for that to grow back in that way, in a point after it's cut. That's why I don't cut my hair. But again, I have to live with the split ends, the constant, the forever brushing, and the messiness, of this hair. So I asked in quite a few of my sessions, as a client, as a Beyond Quantum Healing client, about the thinning of my hair. The dogs wouldn't be in this video. And the message that keeps coming through is the same answer I get basically for everything, is to love it, to accept yourself as you are, and to love it. And because I haven't loved my hair, I've had less of it to love. And so it began to thin because I had this dread and this, relationship with my hair of like, oh God, I gotta brush it. Oh my God, my hair's doing this. Oh my God, my hair, So because I had that energy around my relationship with my hair, it began to fall out. So something has happened within the last couple of days where I've realized that my relationship with my hair can change a bit. I've decided to stop brushing it, stop struggling with it every day. So instead of brushing it, like after I take a shower, I'm kind of finger brushing it, just kind of taking the knots out with my fingers, being a lot more gentle with it. I'm experiencing a lot less breakage. I'm experiencing a lot less damage through the process of just trying to brush it and tame it. So my hair might look a little bit messier than it normally does, but I'm okay with it because I'm not having that struggle and that like angst energy every time I focus my attention on my hair. And it's not taking as long. It's taking maybe a quarter of the time as it would to brush it through. So it's a lot shorter process, and it's more fun, than getting so frustrated with it all the time. And it's part of my journey of accepting myself as I am, exactly as I am, for what I am. And everything's for a reason, and I was incarnated into this body in the way that I am for a reason. And all these little things have meaning, and they're things to grow from and work through. And so I'm working on working towards complete self-love and acceptance. And I think this is like a big personal win for me to actually, be okay with going outside and going out into the world and on these videos, just as I am, for all the flaws and all the beauty that those flaws bring. So, I know I didn't think I was going to do like a 10-minute video about hair, but this one's about hair today. And if you notice my hair is going to be messy, that's why I'm accepting myself as I am. And I think that's an important message for all of us, So I gotta go. We're gonna go really soon, get in the car and visit my parents. So see you soon. Okay, we're on the road to visit our parents and Caleb's grandparents and check out their new digs in their senior living community in Oceanside. So we're in transit. It's a bit of a trip, about an hour or so, and hopefully we'll get there soon. Okay, so we're here at our parents' community that they moved into recently. It's a nice and sunny day here in Oceanside. It's a little bit overcast where we're living inland, and we're closer to the beach. It's nice and sunny, a beautiful day. They're living a little bit bare bones here. They haven't moved their stuff from storage yet, which is like a day's ride away. So we brought some stuff to kind of help them out in the meantime, and we're just so happy to spend some time with them. They're always happy to see us. We're always happy to see them. So we're gonna have a nice day together, just kind of reconnect. Okay, I just want to quickly share what's going on right now. It's a bigger conversation than I think I can get into right now, but we are all visiting my parents, and we are all talking about the Mandela effect and how it has affected us. We just got done talking about JFK. I was a big researcher for over a decade of JFK. It was just something that interested me about history. And it was kind of my awakening to other things going on in the government than what we were being told. So that was before my spiritual awakening. Anyway, we're talking about it, and I remember reading a book about JFK. I've read many, many books, seen many, many documentaries, researched it for years. But in the middle of reading a book about JFK, this was several years ago, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I feel like the Mandela effect, it changed while I was reading the book, because this was probably the fourth book I had read, thick book I had read about JFK, and all of a sudden it was saying that there was 6 people in the car when JFK was shot. However, I remembered 4, and I was very confused about why it was saying 6, and then my memory became very fuzzy about it, and I began to think I had a faulty memory, and that indeed I was just remembering it wrong. Since then, the discussion has gone on about what happened with JFK. The relationship I was in at the time, we were even arguing about it because we both liked to talk about history, because we were both very interested in history, and we also enjoyed, lively arguments. So we were arguing about what exactly was happening with JFK at the time. And so we're now talking about that with my parents, and they remember it seemed to be 4 people in the car rather than 6. We're talking about the details of that. We're also talking about the Mandela effect, with Ed McMahon being a part of Publishers Clearinghouse or not. That's an ongoing argument and fun conversation between me and my sister Lila. We like to talk about that a lot because she remembers that he was not a part of Publishers Clearinghouse. I remember that he was, and so we always talk about how we're from different timelines and we're in this timeline together, but we are different than the people we grew up with, because we grew up in the same house with the same information, yet we have different memories. So we're having a lot of fun talking about all that. I'll probably go into more detail about some of the Mandela effects that have affected me personally in my experiences, but I just thought it was really interesting right now because we have my nephew Caleb visiting us from college, and his viewpoint about the whole thing is just false and faulty memories. And I think the rest of us in the house, which is my parents, me, and my sister Lila, are all understanding that it's alternate dimensions, alternate timelines, either converging or us shifting between timelines. Hi there. So we're having a fun time discussing it, and I think he thinks we're all crazy. Well, he's not sold on the Mandela effect thing for sure. But anyway, we're talking about that right now. We're having a lot of fun. I love being with family. You know, we're all kind of have these alternate viewpoints together, which is a lot of fun. We understand each other. We all kind of grew up in a sci-fi household where this stuff is interesting to us, you know, and it's happening all around us in real ways. So anyway, I don't have any more time, but I want to talk about this more another time. I'm going to get back to the conversation. We're here at the Oceanside Harbor with our parents and my nephew Caleb, and it's bringing me back to old days when I was young, spending so much time here at the harbor with all my friends. Basically grew up here and haven't been back since, so it's pretty cool to see that everything still looks the same. And we're here on a beautiful sunny day in Oceanside. We're all going to enjoy it together. Walking down memory lane with my dad at Oceanside Harbor.
Yeah. And this is 20 years after.
Yep, it's probably been that long since we've been here. So we're winding down here at my parents' house. I think we're going to be leaving soon. Just wrapping it up. We had a nice time. It was brief. My mom can't do too much walking, so we just did a little bit of walking at the harbor and drove through, looked at some of the old places. I spent so much time there at the beach as a teenager, probably between the ages of 12 to 16. Basically lived there. We used to have bonfires there with all of our friends. Days on end there at the beach, laying out, playing in the water, all that good stuff. So it was really cool to go back there again and just remember. It was a lot of fun. And it was nice to show my nephew Caleb, who doesn't remember going there. I think he used to go there when he was too young to remember. So it was new to him, and it was nice showing him the area. I'll check back in later. Okay, it's a full moon. I don't know if I can get a full moon in the shot here. We had a day with my parents, and there we go. And we had a long day, got back home, had some dinner, did some dishes, blah, blah, blah. It is a full moon. We normally do a full moon ceremony, but I don't think we're going to do it tonight. So I'm just going to connect with the moon myself and do some meditations out here before I go to bed, and kind of release anything that I've had, any blockages, let the energy flow through me, and set intentions for the next moon cycle of what I would like to be receptive to, what I would like to bring and attract to me through energy. So I'm going to do that tonight. There's the full moon. It's kind of busy here, neighborhood life, right? So it's beautiful, beautiful and big. We were watching it on the drive home. It was a lot bigger when it was just kind of becoming visible to us. And it was yellow. It's hard to really tell in video, but it's beautiful tonight. So I'm going to, normally when I can meditate in view of the full moon, I can connect with it, and I just get such a calming energy. I have some of my most powerful meditations on the full moon, so I'm definitely going to take some time out to do that. And the ceremonies we normally do involve smudging, and involve candles and a ritual. We set intentions on some crystals and stones. We make moon water that lasts us through the next month. Again, I don't think we're going to do all that tonight, so I'm just going to connect with it kind of on the fly. And I hope you are having a beautiful holiday and are able to connect with the full moon in your own way.